Boreal. Pretty cool moment. Saw my first two caribou up here, not from the helicopter. There's a ton of tracks in this really nice little perched wetland where I collected some alpine sedge, and then came around the corner and there's a ton of tracks in there, so I figured there's some caribou in the neighborhood. And came around the corner, and old eagle eyes never fails, and saw a couple dark shadows across the skyline there, and two bulls feeding on the hill. I don't know, it's impossible to tell, but pretty special. Okie dokie. Good day. My name's Oliver Holt, and I'm a graduate research student at the University of Northern British Columbia. And my project is titled Predicting the Future of Apparent Competition for Northern Mountain Caribou, and my supervisor is Dr. Chris Johnson. Right off the top, I want to express gratitude to the Wildlife Conservation Society of Canada for the Weston Family Fellowship program or fellowship that not only myself received, but as well as my fellow fellowship recipients received. And that certainly from my perspective, my project wouldn't be where it's at today. And it's been an honor, and something that is a highlight to this project so far is receiving the fellowship, but also what I was afforded to do based on this fellowship. And that's what I'm here to talk about today. So behind me is the study area, and basically it's a series of caribou herd ranges. And these caribou herd ranges, or subpopulations, exist across this latitudinal gradient. So from the south to the north, you have herd ranges. For example, in the far south, you have the Tweeds-Marantiaco. And in the north, in the northern extent of the Cassiar Mountains, you have the herd range, which is called the Wolf Lake herd. And across this same latitudinal gradient, there exists a gradient in habitat disturbance, and that being a myriad of different disturbances like wildfire, mountain pine beetle, some forestry development, some linear feature development. But basically, the further south you go, the more of it you have. And that's what part of what's the foundation of this whole project is looking at two questions. So one being, are caribou distributed differently within their herd range across this gradient in latitudinal, but also habitat disturbance? And secondly, does predator diet look different across the same gradient within these herd ranges? Righty. Another component of this project that I want to touch on quickly is something that I'm very proud of, that it's been very important for me from day one and continues to be very important, is that this project and my ideas and the research itself has really been developed from the ground up, with a focus on what's important to the people in the land, and how does this research and the information that's gleaned from my research questions and the data and my results come back to the communities. And why that's important to me is there's a lot of momentum, there's a lot of important work that's ongoing, and down the road will continue to occur that is resulting in meaningful and important conservation actions for caribou that are coming from these communities through partnerships and collaboration with provincial and territorial governments, Indigenous governments, but really the people themselves. And something that this fellowship afforded me to do was spend time on the landscape with the caribou, looking for bear food, collecting wildlife hair samples through community science, but most importantly is having conversations with people and understanding the relevance and importance of this project. And it's all come together, and it's something I'm very proud of, is that this is a project that's got a lot of support. Folks are very appreciative of my willingness to collaborate and bring everything together into what's really a small scope of a Master's of Science graduate thesis, but I'm doing the best I can. And certainly this fellowship has meant a lot for me in terms of putting me in that position to work with people to develop a really great research project.